Hi, everybody. This is William Morris, and this is Rabbi Herschel Gluck, and we're talking together for a change, which is, well, that's what we always need to do. We're not for a change. Herschel and I often talk to each other, but what we were thinking about was Iran and the perhaps lack of conversation that's going on there. Herschel, so
Good
good
morning.
to talk to you.
Same here. Oh, as always.
Well, bless you. It's where are we? Friday the 20th of June. As we,
Almost midsummer.
yes, yes, yes. And I guess we've got a respite from this war. I mean, we wanted to talk about Iran and the crisis there, in regard to Iran and Israel. We've got a slight respite, not an entire respite, because there's no respite for Israel and Iran, but Mr. Trump has given himself a 2 week window in which to resolve this matter. And that's interesting, perhaps hopeful, but I'd like things to move rather faster than that because meanwhile, Israel and Iran are knocking bits out of each other, which is not helpful. Um, just to set the baseline for this discussion, I believe, as you do, that we have enough nuclear weapons powers in the world. We
More
don't,
than enough.
yeah, enough, exactly. I mean, we both feel that strongly. In fact, I would like the existing nuclear weapons powers to do much more. To be honest, the
Sadly, that doesn't look like it's happening. It seems to be going in the other direction.
exactly, yeah, America's pulled back from the strategic arms limitation talks, which of course lets Russia go hell for leather with more weapons. Britain
And
is
China even more so.
yes, exactly. And North Korea has pulled out of the whatever it is, the non-proliferation treaty, the Democratic, whatever they call themselves, DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is one of the world's nuclear powers. And it's not good to have them
And I
outside.
presume Iran could buy a nuke off the shelf from North Korea.
Yes, yes, indeed, they certainly could. Um, Actually, I've always understood that the real difficulty is having the sophisticated delivery system for the nuclear weapon. That was why Pakistan was ahead of India in the early days of the nuclear arms race, because they had bought their rockets direct from North Korea, whereas India developed its own Agni rocket, which took it a long time to develop. Iran has the delivery system. It must step back completely from developing nuclear power. Nuclear power in a military sense, I mean. Um, it claims it doesn't want it, but it's not good enough. It has enriched uranium. It should stop playing games, I think.
It's
And
been playing games for the past 25, 30 years.
yes,
It
yes,
seems to have invented the concept of strategic ambiguity.
yes, exactly, exactly, which is unhelpful, unkind. I don't know. It's posturing, and of a kind that I mean, the supreme leader has said in a fatwa. But the interesting thing is the fatwa. He doesn't keep the fatwa on his website with all his other fatwas, but he has given a fatwa against weapons of mass destruction, and they always claim they are not going for nuclear weapons. But why then? I mean, why enrich uranium to this degree? Why not allow inspectors in? Why play this stupid game? Well, they do allow inspectors in, but then they play around with the inspectors. I mean, I mean, that's it's not good enough, really, and this has to end. You have to grow up and join the. Everybody has to join the international community of nations in a proper manner. But that said, and I think actually every nuclear power nation, having nuclear power for electricity generation, should be in the non-proliferation treaty. It's a given. Israel should be in the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. I mean, it has failed completely to even acknowledge its own nuclear weapons, even though it's blatantly obvious. The entire world it has them. But so what? Then just join the NPT. I mean, it's an honourable thing to do, and treat it properly with respect and deal with it like Iran should and doesn't really honor its obligations. Israel doesn't honor its obligations. North Korea doesn't honor its obligations. And it's not appropriate. However, then we have this confrontation. I'm doing most of the talking here, Herschel. It's me.
Well, fantastic. I'm doing most of the listening. I'm very happy.
Well, then we have this confrontation. I mean, it was at the last minute. The talks were down to the wire. And the thing about Iran is they're very, very similar to Israelis. They like negotiating down to the wire. But you can't do that, really. I mean, you can't do that. They took it down to the wire, and they were negotiating with Witkoff, Trump's right-hand man. And it shows the games people play, because Witkoff was arranging to meet them that Sunday. Was it only,
Yep.
just a few days ago? And he was arranging to meet them. And then Israel attacked on 61 days since Trump's 60-day window. Israel attacks. Witkoff doesn't know that Israel's going to attack. Witkoff is happily arranging, which shows you even though he's an immensely powerful man, he's not, I mean, he's a great man. He's a decision implementer, but he's not a decision maker. The decision is made by Trump. And I've been speaking to some of Trump's closest friends and advisors, or one of Trump's closest friends and advisors. And he told me he believed that Trump was going to enter the war today or yesterday. And we all believed that. And now Trump has pressed a kind of pause button. And I phoned him at midnight last night, and he said to me, well, none of us know. I mean, the president has put everything ready. Everything is ready but none of us know. Nobody. No, not even, I mean, not even his closest friends, his closest family members, the government in Washington. None of us know what Donald Trump will do tomorrow or today. He puts everything in place, but we don't know. We don't know. And Trump's friend said to me, it's possible he likes making a deal. It's possible that this is all down to this, but Trump wants to be part of the show. That's what he said. Trump wants to be part of the show. We support Israel 100%. They can stop the war when they finish the job with Fordo. Fordo is the big final, deep embedded in the mountains. And this is Trump's man. The Iranians are begging, by the way, he said, to stop the war. Well, but that said, of course, I've been speaking to some military experts. They say to deal with Fordo, troops are going to have to go in on the ground because the big B-52 Buster bombs, how amazing they are and how horrible, they're not enough. They're
They
not
used them
enough.
in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very powerful, but still, yeah.
But still, yes, they couldn't. It's like those caves in the Bora Bora Mountains where Al Qaeda used to hide out. You know, you can't. It's not enough. Um, so what? So you're going to have this situation where, and what does that mean? Does Iran become a new Afghanistan or a new Iraq? If you, I mean, America's not going to send in troops on the ground. Israel will have to, I presume.
I
If
mean,
we don't get peace.
judging by the disaster in Gaza, I don't think Israel will be tempted to send troops into regular troops into Iran.
No, no, yeah. So there, I mean, yes, it would be almost a suicide mission anyway, because you can't guarantee getting them out. The helicopters coming in to get them out would be very vulnerable.
And you need to send a lot of troops in. This won't just be small cells,
Hmm.
small squadrons of troops.
So I don't know. I mean, the it's that um, a negotiated solution is by far the best thing, in which Iran climbs down from its posturing and allows it does the honorable thing, really. But there's another issue here, which I feel strongly about. I mean, Israel really, um, when it takes action, collateral damage is unforgivable, I think. I mean, I'm not talking about Gaza. We're focusing on Iran at the moment. I mean, Gaza, I could weep, but let's set that aside. The collateral damage when you decide you're going to assassinate a scientist, or even that is questionable. Um, you don't take out his family, his children, and his wife. Um, and the level of collateral damage, and it applies to Iran as well, attacking Israel. I mean, don't can they not tell where a hospital is and avoid hitting it? No, I think this whole business of collateral damage in war. There used to be honor in war, and there should be honor in war. And what's honor in war? Honor in war is you confine yourself to military action. You do not deliberately, if a civilian is standing in front of your enemy, or your enemy is hiding behind the skirts of a civilian, you don't kill a civilian to get the enemy. It's um, that's always been the honourable position. Britain hasn't adhered to it. The community haven't adhered to it. In the Second World War, we had the doodle bugs coming over from Germany on London. They completely random attacked the civilians.
Me too.
You know, but
Yeah, but after the Second World War, we decided we cannot allow this to happen again. The
yeah,
new international order. And sadly, we've seen that there's a total disregard to the new international order, which should sound alarm bells for all of us.
mm,
Because without the international order, we all become so much more vulnerable, God forbid.
yes, yes. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Um, Roosevelt's four freedoms: freedom from want, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, and freedom from fear. If my child,
Sadly, we want all four, and sadly, all four are under attack and are being undermined.
exactly, and yet the one I would want for most of all for my children, I have grandchildren, The as do you. I mean, the one I want most for them, actually more important than freedom of expression, even, is freedom from fear. I mean, I don't want my children, my grandchildren, to grow up in a state of fear. That's really fundamental.
So, because fear undermines the possibility to live in freedom.
Yes,
Freedom of fear means that you can get on with your life. When you're afraid, your life is circumscribed, it's
exactly,
limited.
exactly,
We cannot express ourselves in the full sense of the word properly.
exactly. I mean, I would like Iran. I mean, I do speak to the Iranians, as you know, Herschel, as you have done in the past. I would like Iran to what? To say something along the lines of, if Israel stops, we will stop. We are ready to go back to conversation. I mean, it's the truth. They want an end to this, but why? They should say it, just publicly state it bluntly, instead of messing around.
But Iran, again, is not a monolithic society like any society, like Britain, like America, like Israel. There are many different factions with many different opinions, with many different ideologies within the ruling ideology. Uh, and therefore, and I think going back to what you said before about Trump, Trump is torn because many in his base have one opinion, and many in Congress have a different opinion. So I think that he is torn between two very passionate ideologies, and therefore I think that he's been very wise to create this window, because if he would have proceeded to war, he would have undermined his credibility with many members of his base.
Yes, you're right. You are so right, and it is such a relief to see this him press the pause button. Um, and and we just need now Iran to step up to the plate instead of thinking that this is somehow a victory for them and that they can now relax, because they can't, because this the war with Israel is ongoing, and we want that to stop. We want that to stop, and the plus plus America is lurking in the wings. They have arranged everything to for their engagement. Um, that's very disturbing. I think. I mean, Israel is having not having an easy time of it. Um, Everybody should be, if we have if we have a willingness on the part of Iran to genuinely abandon what Trump calls its nuclear ambitions. And that doesn't mean abandoning nuclear enrichment if it's just for peaceful purposes, but having proper inspection of its nuclear facilities without any hesitation, without any messing around. Then Israel should stop and Iran should stop, because it's the old Churchill thing. It's jaw is better than war, or at least Churchill said it. I don't know whether his actions reflect his words, but it's the truth, isn't it? I mean, we need more talking to each other.
And I think there's another element which I haven't heard raised, and that is that there is an important Jewish community in Iran who are also being um, targeted by this war because they are Iranian citizens.
Mhm.
Not only there is an important Jewish community in Iran, it's a community that's growing. I hear that there are more Jewish children in the Jewish kindergarten now than ever before. And as there are, of course, many Muslims, including Shia, in Israel. So
Mhm.
therefore, apart from considering caring for the whole of humanity, Here we're talking about even caring for our own brothers and sisters in religion.
Mm, mm,
And this war is of course undermines our care and our concern and our love for our brothers and sisters. So therefore, it's in the interest of everyone to stop this war. Of course, that would also be the case if the demographic would be different. But this, I think, adds another dimension to how illogical and how crazy
mm.
this conflict is.
Yes. Yes, I mean, poor Tel Aviv, poor Tehran, poor, everyone is suffering because of this. And it's as if the leaders of the world are just driven by pride, um, which is such a
I don't
despicable.
think I don't think it's pride. I think it's stupidity, because I think the Talmud says, "Who is wise? Who sees the consequences." And I think here we didn't have to be Einsteins in order to figure out what the consequences were going to be. I think it's quite evident,
Mm,
and therefore, but I think the pride overrides the the common sense.
yes, yes. But we do have this pause. Now is a chance for Israel and Iran to pause in their, I don't know, their slogging match, which of course has been. I mean, Israel. You could say Israel started it. You could say Iran started it because it
It's
wouldn't
like the
honor
it's
the.
like the, it's like the skit in Faulty Towers, with
Yes,
the Germans. So that yeah, but you march into Poland first.
yeah,
Yeah, it depends how far back you want to look.
yes, exactly. But now we need people to pause, not just Donald Trump to pause, but Israel. Now's the time for talking. Now is the time for talking. A pause would show great nobility of spirit on the part of Israel and on the part of Iran, and it it is now we need to use these 2 weeks that America has given and not continue to knock chunks out of each other, but to actually say, okay, okay, let's all on Witkoff's back and the negotiators, and let them negotiate and let them negotiate for the best outcome for both. There's a tendency to be maximalists when you negotiate. You know, you want to win for your side, like you're in some souk bartering. But you want the best outcome, an outcome that will last. And basically, that means an end to over enrichment of uranium by Iran and total transparency with regard to inspections by Iran. Total transparency and an end to this stupid using the nuclear option as posturing. Um,
Because of course, greater stability is in everyone's interest.
yes, yes,
Less stable a region is, it has a very detrimental effect on the economy, on the quality of life, on the security of all the people in the region. So therefore, to create more stability is in everyone's interest.
exactly, exactly. And this and then the second pillar is more talking to each other. I mean, it mustn't be in some way haram, forbidden for Iranians to talk to Israelis or vice versa. I mean, it's such an anathema that that kind of almost childish behavior. Um, even for goodness sake, even the Prophet Muhammad spoke to his enemies. You know,
I mean, in the past, Iranians have said to me that there is a strong voice within Iranian society, not a dominant voice, but nevertheless a strong voice that feels that Iran and Israel are natural allies in the
Yes,
region.
yes. And they are. I mean, Israel is. That's why I find it so. I don't want to really get into Gaza and the other conflicts in the Middle East because it will muddy the waters. But I do find it sad to see Israel in confrontation with Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, what next? The Houthis. I mean, whereas Israel could be the beating heart of the Middle East, involved and engaged with everybody on a basis of mutual respect.
And
Um,
everyone can contribute. I mean, I think Israel would greatly benefit from much that others have to offer in the region.
mm,
And
abs-
I think that everyone could complement one another and work together for a better present and future for all in the region.
yes, hallelujah. Well, that's what we need to say, isn't it? You've just summed it up. I mean, one brotherhood and sisterhood of mankind, and no more. There is no need now. The great one.
But sadly, we really need to heal the region. We really need to to create harmony where there is such deep conflict, because what's been happening over the past 19 months has really had a very corrosive and negative effect on attitudes between people in the region.
Mm,
And we have to start rebuilding that harmony in the region.
bless your heart, Herschel. I think those are such wise words. Um, such wise words. I think. I mean, maybe we will have to come back to this issue, but I think you've really summed it up there. Bless you. I think that says it all. Let's hope and pray for a peaceful tomorrow instead of more of this war.
God bless you and God bless us all.
God bless us all. Thank you, dear friend.
Thank you, dear William. Thank you very much.
Thank you.